right, let's not waste any time. Let's get to some action. Think you can handle yourself, Dave?
What? Oh, well, against Travis Banks. Might hide under the table.
Ladies and gentlemen, the opening contest of WCPW, no regrets. It is a singles bout set for one fall. Coming to the ring at this time from Auckland, New Zealand, and representing Prestige, winning tonight at 92 kilos, Travis Banks.
What a few months Travis Banks has had here at WCPW. Ever since that career-defining win against Zack Sabre Jr., he has been on a phenomenal winning streak, which begs the question, why on earth did he feel that he had to join the Prestige? Prestige, such a menacing force here in What Culture Pro Wrestling. Matt, you know that better than most people.
Unfortunately, I do, and I take nothing away from the group or the individuals that are part of it, but Travis has his hands full. Let's meet his opponent.
Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, wrestling out of Tijuana, Mexico, and winning tonight at 94 kilos, Penta Miedo!
He was AAA Latin American champion and also the King of Kings, the Rey de Reyes, over in AAA. Now he is the Lucha Underground champion, Penta here in WCPW.
Let me tell you, I've not seen too much of this guy, but what I have seen in Lucha Underground has been incredible. He is a genuinely world-class talent, and what an honor it is to be sat ringside watching him perform.
You'll see strong style Lucha Libre is the best way to describe Penta's style, and of course the Lucha Libre will be on display in the Mexico qualifiers for the World Cup, and of course that airs this Friday evening. But before we get there, this is going to be a very intriguing matchup, Dave Bradshaw and Stu Bennett, because of the clash of styles, in my opinion.
Travis Banks calls himself the Kiwi buzzsaw, prides himself on that New Zealand strong style. As you say, Matt, a real clash with Penta's Lucha Libre talents here. If you want to join the conversation about this match or any of our matches this evening in Newcastle, you can use the hashtag #NoRegrets. Please do get involved.
Stu, baptismal by fire here. Just based on what you're looking at, where does the advantage lie before any wrestling happens?
Well, you know, if you look at the size of these two performers, both very similar builds, but the experience level of Penta, I have to put him ahead on points on this one.
Here we go.
Banks, look at that. Those hard strikes, the forearms, and his clubbing blows between the shoulder blades from Travis.
Yeah, now Banks' style, he likes to stay very close to his opponent. I know from watching Penta that he likes to utilize space to get a good head of steam going. That's going to be an interesting subplot as this match starts out. Side headlock controlling his opponent is Travis Banks.
And you asked the question earlier, why would somebody like Travis Banks join the Prestige? And the answer is, professional wrestling isn't about morality. It never has been. It's about winning, and you join the team that gives you the best chance of winning. And someone like Travis Banks joining forces with the Prestige gives him the best chance to get to the absolute top in professional wrestling.
Plenty of guys who've got to the top without selling their soul.
But trust me, they'd have got there a lot quicker if they had sold their soul.
Yes. Can't believe we heard the word morality and pro wrestling in the same sentence, but why not?
Travis Banks is literally having his rear end kicked here by Penta
Well, as much as you want to get on Travis Banks, it has to be said this Penta certainly has a mean streak too. But this isn't smart. Turning your back on your opponent is something you never do. And trust me, I hate enough referees, and believe me, I've gotten enough at the time, but turning your back on an opponent is dangerous, especially against an athlete like Travis Banks.
Well, the kick to the hamstring is going to certainly soften up and slow up Travis Banks, the methodical pace of Penta Miedo.
Travis Banks sent into the corner, quickly followed in. The clothesline snaps Banks' neck backwards, but Banks will follow him into the other side.
Here's the distance and the space that we talked about. how these two fighters will make up the space will be very interesting as this match rolls on.
They've clearly scouted each other very well. The question is, who is first to get the advantage in this one, because it could be crucial.
Nice sling blade there.
That could be a game changer right there, especially if it happens twice.
Look at the resilience of Travis Banks, and once again he rolls to the outside, gets a breather. Very smart move by the man.
Penta takes a run up off the opposite rope. And Travis cuts him off, and that could be vital for this young man from New Zealand, because otherwise that could have been an absolute match ender.
Look at the aggression by Travis Banks. Scouted that tope. Fantastic stuff, and here's one of his own.
Banks between the middle and bottom rope takes out Penta. El0M. Well, Zero Miedo means no fear in Spanish, and that is exactly what Banks just showed.
Wow, your Spanish is almost as bad as mine.
That's what it means, right?
I'm not even going to try, guys. I'll stick to the Queen's English.
Penta and Travis Banks fighting here. Well, it's about to be, at least, as Banks goes with the forearm there up in the aisleway. Referee Joel Allen has a count on, already up to 4. Penta is eventually rolled back in.
Yes, but systematically placed by Travis Banks. There is no wasted movement by this young man.
Look at Travis Banks. He knows this is his chance to capitalize. Make the most of being on top, because if you give Penta an inch, he will take a mile.
Look at where Penta placed himself. He almost baited Travis Banks in. It's almost as if Penta has some type of game plan, but Travis seems to have been able... No, spoke too soon.
Yeah, Penta is fighting back here. Look at that. Oh my! Something just flew out of Banks' mouth. I hope that was chewing gum, not a tooth.
Might have been his uvula.
Penta has left Banks here writhing in agony. Oh, Banks moved out of the way. Penta may have broken his hand.
Well, we've talked about why wrestlers chop instead of throw punches. It's because you don't want to bust a knuckle or break a hand. And Stu, you could probably speak to that better than Dave can. But the chop now seems to come into play because, like you said, Dave, Penta may have a broken right hand.
Broken metacarpals, you can't balance, you can't punch, you can't chop. He could be in a world of trouble here.
And Banks is going to gamble. He's up to the top. Travis Banks!
Kick to the gut. Makes it hard to breathe. Also doubles over your opponent. But old Banksy has some in him, too.
Takes a big kick to the jaw. Penta will go to the ropes again. They are exchanging kicks here. Hard-hitting opener on no regrets. It's a powerbomb!
Onto the knee. Cover. No leg hook. That's a cocky cover by Penta, and he knows it.
Well, here comes what looks like possibly going to go for that package pile driver, maybe. That trademark move of Penta. Travis perhaps had that scouted, found a way out, grabs the right leg and sweeps it away. Running knee into the jaw of Penta.
Once again, Travis Banks with those strikes. They are precise, they are accurate, and they are dangerous.
Banks, second time into the corner. Referee is trying to get Travis Banks to bring this out of the corner.
Kick to the shin, that is kick straight to the bone.
It's a great point there, Stu, how he cuts down his opponent, does Travis Banks. Cannonball.
Just a range of strikes from every angle. It has to be said, the resilience of Penta has been incredible. This may be it, though.
Yeah, it was 2 and it was nearly 3.
Like what Travis did there, he grapevined the near arm and the near leg, forces his opponent to kick out as opposed to go to the ropes for reprieve.
Travis Banks in a permanently foul mood. Looks like he's chewing on a wasp.
Well, it's that new attitude. He's in the prestige, and I love it. And this is what he needs to do to get to the top. Take no prisoners. Kick his face off.
Maybe going for the kick there. That slice of heaven, he calls it. But Penta ducked. Pump handle.
Oh, God.
Drop him.
Jeez, there was a leg drop mixed in there as well. I don't know if you saw it on the impact, but just a 2 3/4.
And I have no idea for the life of me how Travis Banks was able to kick out of that one. He landed on the top of his head with a leg draped over his throat.
Stu, let me ask you from experience right now. You're Travis Banks. What's going through your mind? What do you need to do? What does a fighter do in this position?
You need to get oxygen in your lungs. You need to get blood back in your brain. He is not even thinking straight at this point, and Penta needs to get on him and capitalize and make the most of this opportunity he has to put Travis Banks away.
And he's going for that package power driver a second time. Here comes Banks again. Going back to what brought him here, those stiff kicks.
Travis Banks is running on instinct, running on fumes, and once again, Penta just too fast for him.
Crowd firmly behind Penta L0M, a sign perhaps of how unpopular the Prestige are.
Or perhaps a sign of what Penta L0M has done for himself in his career in the last year. Oh boy, modified Michinoku driver, leg is hooked, shoulders are down. Just a two.
Yeah, very close though. That was a tenth of a second away, if that, from Travis Banks getting what would be another serious notch in his belt. What a win it would be for Travis Banks to beat the champion of Lucha Underground.
This match is going to turn on a sixpence. It could go either way. Both men have had their opportunities. Who's got more left in the tank?
Yes, and of course, the popularity of Lucha Libre has skyrocketed throughout the world in the last 3 years. Of course, names like Penta L0M, Phoenix, Sexy Star, and let's not forget the legends, Conan, Mil Máscaras, Dos Caras, Latin Lover, the list goes on and on, but right now, it's all about today, and today is all about Penta L0 Miedo.
Is that a Canadian destroyer off the second rope? I don't think I've seen that before.
Look at Banks, look how Banks fired himself up. The package partner from Banks, that's Penta's own move. Penta's own move from Travis Banks to win it all. He was so close.
And I have no idea how either man is still moving at this point. They should be getting carried away on a hospital gurney.
Well, Travis is not the master of the package pile driver, and that may be the only reason that Penta is still in this match.
But look how quickly Travis Banks bounced back from that Canadian destroyer that would have put most of the roster away for sure. This is one tough kid from New Zealand.
Look at intensity in Banks' eyes as he stood up after that Canadian destroyer, Stu, was actually terrifying even from here.
It has to be said, there is an extra pressure that Travis Banks is putting on himself at this point, as he's not only representing himself, he's representing the Prestige, the most powerful faction in WCPW.
Well, Banks has Penta on his shoulders. This is a precarious position for both men. Penta, don't do that. Penta may be thinking about that pile driver this time.
On the apron, the hardest part of the ring.
Oh my God, oh my God! My God, Travis Banks' skull just bounced off the corner of the ring apron, for goodness sake.
We are going to need an ambulance out here to take care of Travis Banks.
That could end a career.
And listen to this audience on their feet. That was incredible. That has to be the end of this match for sure.
Well, I think the only thing saving Travis Banks is that he's out on the floor. And that time...
And if I was Penta, I'd have let that go for a count. I'd have climbed back in and win this one the easy way.
Penta, nonetheless, thinks he's going to win it here. Double foot stomp, no one there. Travis is back on his feet. How is he back on his feet? A slice of heaven.
Adrenaline is a great drug.
Travis Banks with the cover.
Holy cow!
Banks wins it. Travis Banks with an upset over Penta L0M.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, Travis Banks.
The biggest scalp of Travis Banks' career against the global superstar Penta LM. That is huge, and I guarantee you his comrades in the Prestige are in the locker room right now watching this one on their feet, and they cannot wait to open the champagne.
Look at the you-know-what eating grin on the face of Travis Banks. Well, a more obnoxious man you are unlikely to ever meet, but also, annoyingly, an exceptionally talented one.
Yeah, a huge win for Travis Banks over arguably one of the best luchadors in the world. The tip of the cap to Travis Banks.
What a great start to the night for the Prestige. And what does this mean, not only physically, but psychologically for Penta L0M as he heads into those Mexican qualifiers for the Pro Wrestling World Cup. He is going in there on a loss, and that could be devastating, as he's going to be in a very competitive field of 8.
I assure you he will bounce back with aplomb tomorrow at the Mexican branch of the World Cup. Believe me, he wants to get straight back in the ring and correct that loss.
Those qualifiers will be on YouTube on the What Culture Wrestling channel this Friday, but right now the crowd on their feet in respect for the effort of both Travis Banks and Penta L0 Miedo.
Yes, the first surprise of what may be many tonight. A victory for Travis Banks, but the respect for Penta L0M.
Penta is enjoying the support of this crowd as he heads to Coventry, as I said, for those World Cup qualifiers.
And a well-deserved standing ovation for Penta. Let's take nothing away from him. That was an incredible performance, and that could have gone either way.
Stu, while I have you at the table, what was it like coming down the ramp and feeling all of the great adulation? You'll answer that for me in a minute, but right now, let's take a look at this.